Leadership Skills for Disruptive Change, Course 101, Module 6. The goal of this module is, how do we now bring system thinking, consulting, the enterprise architecture using TOGAF, organization change management, and project management such disciplines into a single practice. The target audience for this course is senior management and upper management who have the responsibility and accountability for planning and execution and assessment of the change program. As a member of the senior management team, you're expected to know these methods, not to the point of detail that you have to do every one of them in detail, but as your project team is executing these methods, you have to be able to provide them insight and guidance and feedback consistently and constructively. And you need to know sufficient about these methods, how various deliverables are going to get created, and the one that you'll be expected to provide feedback. Before we get into the detail, I wanted to cover some fundamental concepts that Peter Thiel has summarized them very well in his book 0 to 1. And the first thing he talks about, the 4 actions. Before you actually set out, think about it as think about an incremental improvement on current thing, whatever that thing is. Second, remain very lean and flexible so you can respond faster. Don't blow your brains out in the first week. Third thing is, improve on a competition. Don't go out there creating a new market for something you know nothing about. Take an existing market, improve on it. And fourth thing is, the relentless focus on the product. The idea here is that if you need a sales force to sell your product is not good enough yet. So focus your energy on product, not so much on sales, because sales will happen if the product is good. Next thing Peter talks about is building a monopoly. The idea here is to how do you ensure whatever you invented is actually can sustain itself, protect it from competition. And here's some of the things that he refers to. Before you can create a monopoly, whatever your product that you're making, it needs to be 10 times better than what is already out there. Now you have a product. Next thing, how to protect that product. How to protect the monopoly. Network effects. More people are in your network, harder it is going to be for somebody else to compete. Economies of scale. As you have more people, your cost of distribution, innovation in your product is going to be much lower. So you need to build economies of scale. And lastly, your product brand. Brand has to be created in a way that people want to be part of your brand. People want to be part of the in crowd. So branding is absolutely critical in your thinking. So how do we then combine what Peter talks about and also what is already known to us in enterprise architecture, system thinking, and organization change management, project management methodologies? We looked at the 4 things that you need to become very, very good at. Step 1 is to learn how to optimize what you currently own in your organization. Second, once you can optimize what you have, then you can start to improve what you have by using currently known technologies and processes in the marketplace. What this does, this doesn't transform you yet, but it makes you as good as the competition. So as good as anybody else out there. So this could easily be done by using known methods and technologies in the marketplace. While you were optimizing and transforming using known methods, your team was already working on innovating new things. How are you going to create something new that is radically going to change your value chain? Remember, you're still going after the market that you already know, but now you're going to change how the delivery, how the products and services are delivered in the marketplace. Uber didn't go around changing the taxi service. They just changed how the services are delivered. So now, as you innovated new capabilities, and you tested those capabilities with the minimum viable product concept, and now you integrate them back into your value chain and transform the value chain. Lastly, in order to sustain long-term a culture of innovation, optimization is important, transformation is important, innovation and reinventing of your continuously your value chain is also important. But how do you ensure the culture of innovation proliferates in your organization? And this is where the concept of corporate social responsibility comes into place. You as an organization have to align the values of your employees and the values of the organization. If those two things remain aligned, employees will be motivated to innovate and continuously transform and reinvent your value chain. So the idea of a corporate social responsibility has to be fully entrenched in these methods of optimizing, transforming, and innovating. Its corporate social responsibility is just as important. So what we did in this disruptive change method, we said, well, these are the 4 fundamental elements that are necessary in order for an organization to build and sustain a monopoly in the marketplace. Monopoly that works for common good. So at this point, disruptive change methods conceptually make sense, but how do we actually operationalize them on the ground floor? Looking at every organization, every CEO that I have come across so far has understand the opportunities available in the marketplace and also understand the challenges within the organization. So what we created a very step-by-step workflow and methods. First, let's take a look at the organizational resolve. You have an opportunities, you have challenges. Is there enough resolve at a senior management level? Do we really understand what the operations, what the opportunities are? Do we really understand the current landscape of the organization? Do we have what it takes? This is an honest inventory of internal senior management practice. Once you have that understanding, this is not a criticism of anybody. This is just honest understanding what you have. There's no reason to assume we are doing everything that we could possibly do. The world is not cooperating with us. That's not good enough. Once you understand your resolve at the senior management level, then you create a team of people who can actually plan your transformation and create a business case. Once you have that, then you have 3 parallel streams where the work could happen. Optimize what you currently have. Transform using current best practices and best technologies. And at the same time, innovate the new things. While the optimization is delivering you current value right now, and transformation is being funded by the current optimizations. And innovation done right doesn't take a lot of money, but the only time innovation needs when you're actually trying to back integrate it into your value chain. By then, optimization and transformation programs are delivering dividends. So now, how do you actually execute optimization, transformation, innovation? Once we have done that, then we look at and say, how do we actually measure the performance of what we have done? We looked at 2 things. We looked at the capabilities performance and enterprise goals. It's not enough that capabilities are performing the way we expect them to perform. Are they delivering the results? So what we did in the disruptive change methods, step by step describe how do you create an organization resolve, how do you plan, how do you execute and assess. While doing all of this thing at the same time, I create an engaged enterprise culture that fosters corporate social responsibility. At this point, you have a good understanding. What is disruptive change? Why is it necessary? What to do next? How the current methods that are known fit into it. Next set of courses that we have designed for you to take is how do you actually plan your transformation journey and optimize the current capabilities, innovate and transform, and assess performance. Those are the remaining courses in your course module. But as we practice those courses, we will continuously be talking about 3 case studies. Examples from our previous experience: property and casualty insurance, healthcare delivery, and slums to community living. So let's continue your journey. Next course for you is a plan your transformation journey.